Hey, what's up, party people? KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me at your next event. I like to party with the people. Make your next thing a big one. All right. And also, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Postmaster General says USPS can handle universal mail-in voting. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy testified before the Senate Homeland Security Committee on Friday after he vowed to suspend USPS operational changes until the November election is over. He said, quote, "There have been no changes in any policies in regards to election mail for the 2020 election," end quote, and insisted UPS, quote, "is fully capable and committed to delivering the nation's election mail securely and on time," end quote. While he said he didn't know about the removal of mail sorting infrastructure until there was a public outcry, he said he would not replace equipment that has been removed since he took office. The House, meanwhile, will convene Saturday to vote on Democratic legislation that would prevent the functional changes, reverse the already enacted moves, and provide $25 billion for the agency. The bill is expected to pass along party lines, but is considered dead on arrival in the Senate. This is according to The Hill and ABC News. Number 2, global coronavirus deaths near 800,000. The global death toll from COVID-19 is approaching 800,000, while the number of confirmed infections across the world nears 23 million. Data collected by Johns Hopkins University shows the United States accounts for more than 175,000 of those deaths and more than 5.6 million of the cases. Elsewhere, India, which has the third highest number of infections after the United States and Brazil, is about to surpass 3 million confirmed cases after recording a single-day increase of more than 69,000 infections. Countries that had previously slowed the spread of the virus, like Spain, France, and South Korea, have continued to see upticks. The latter is reinstating restrictions across the country after reporting more than 300 new cases for 2 consecutive days. This is according to BBC and Johns Hopkins University. Number 3, California seeks reinforcements to help battle growing wildfires. More than 500 wildfires, many of them sparked by lightning storms, are burning across California. Most of those are small and remote, but 2 clusters of blazes in the San Francisco Bay Area and another in San Mateo and Santa Cruz counties have caused extensive damage, destroying hundreds of homes and killing 6 people. The 2 Bay Area clusters became the second and third largest wildfires in recent state history, and Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat, has urged residents to, quote, heed evacuation orders, end quote. By Friday, CAL FIRE, the state's fire agency, had called out 96% of available engines, while Newsom has sought reinforcements, including from other countries like Canada and Australia. Firefighters and aircraft from 10 other states began arriving in California on Friday to help crews battle the blazes. This is according to the Associated Press and Reuters. Number 4, Democrats continue programming to counter RNC. After the After the Democratic National Convention culminated with Joe Biden accepting the Democratic presidential nomination, the party has concluded the 4-day affair. But Democrats still have more videos on the ready and plan to launch them next week with aggressive counter programming to the Republican National Convention. Biden's campaign and top party officials plan to highlight what they view as the biggest failures of the Trump administration. Quote, the party is attempting to cast everything about Trump as chaotic and disruptive, end quote, writes the Washington Post. Democratic National Committee Chair Tom Perez said, quote, whereas our themes are unity and our speakers exude optimism and hope, end quote. The RNC, quote, will be marked by chaos, 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 end quote. The RNC begins on Monday night when President Trump will be formally nominated for re-election. This is according to the Washington Post. Number 5, Russian opposition leader transferred to Germany after suspected poisoning. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny arrived in Berlin on Saturday morning, a day after his spokesperson said he was not permitted to be transferred from the Russian state-run hospital where he was being treated after falling ill on a flight from Siberia to Moscow on Thursday. Navalny remains in a coma and is reportedly in critical condition, despite previous reports indicating he was stable during the flight and upon arrival. After touching down, he was taken to a Berlin hospital where he underwent a comprehensive medical examination. Doctors reportedly would not comment on his illness or treatment until those were completed, although his supporters believe he was poisoned at the behest of the Kremlin. The Russian hospital where Navalny was previously treated said there was no sign of poisoning, but toxicology experts have expressed doubts it could have been ruled out so quickly. This is according to the Washington Post and the Associated Press. Number 6, Golden State Killer sentenced to life in prison. Joseph James D'Angelo, the former police officer known as the Golden State Killer, on Friday was sentenced to life without parole after pleading guilty to a series of murders and rapes in California during the 1970s and 1980s. He was arrested in 2018 thanks to the use of, quote, innovative DNA, quote, innovative DNA technology, end quote. Contra Costa County District Attorney Diana Beckton described D'Angelo as a, quote, man whose horrific, unspeakable crimes devastated the lives of so many people, lives that will never be the same, lives forever changed, moments, hours of terror that can never be erased or forgotten, end quote. He spoke in the courtroom on Friday and said he is, quote, truly sorry to everyone I've hurt, end quote. D'Angelo pleaded guilty to 13 murders and more than 50 rapes. This is according to the Los Angeles Times and the Associated Press. Number 7, Brennan questioned for 8 hours as witness in Durham investigation. Former CIA Director John Brennan on Friday sat for an interview with John Durham at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, that lasted for 8 hours. Durham, who was selected by Attorney General William Barr to lead the criminal investigation of the origins of the 2016 probe into possible links between the Trump campaign and Russian election interference, reportedly told Brennan he was neither a subject nor a target of the review, but a, quote, witness, end quote. Brennan served in the Obama administration and was one of the officials who signed off on an intelligence assessment that determined Moscow did interfere in the election with the goal of helping Trump defeat his opponent, Hillary Clinton. Brennan's involvement in the initial investigation and his criticism of Trump has angered the president, Politico notes. This is according to CPS and Politico. Number 8, Libyan government announces ceasefire. Libyan United Nations-backed government announced a nationwide ceasefire Friday. Rebel leader Gen Khalifa Haftar did not comment on the truce directly, But Aguila Saleh, the speaker of the pro-Haftar Libyan parliament, called on the warring factions to support it in the hopes of preventing foreign military intervention. The ceasefire, though tenuous, has raised hopes for peace amid the 9-year conflict. The UN, European Union, and Egypt all welcomed the declaration, and experts believe the ceasefire has a good chance of sticking, despite previous failed attempts. The optimism stems from the fact that there's a, quote, military stalemate, end quote, since Turkish intervention gave the government, quote, enough power, end quote, to stave off an offensive from Haftar. This is according to Al Jazeera and the BBC. Number 9, former Green Beret charged with providing U.S. military secrets to Russian agents. Peter Raphael Dzbinsky Debbins, a former Army Green Beret living in Virginia, has been charged with providing U.S. military secrets to Russian intelligence agents, the Justice Department announced Friday. The info Debbins allegedly handed over concerned his unit's activities in former Soviet republics. Prosecutors, in an indictment after Debbins' arrest, said he told Russian agents with whom he met on multiple occasions between 1996 and 2011 that he considered himself a, quote, son of Russia, end quote, and believed the U.S., quote, was too dominant in the world, end quote. The indictment also alleges Debbins was motivated in part by bitterness over his Army career and a desire to establish business contacts in Russia. This is according to Fox News and CNN. Number 10, Lori Loughlin sentenced to 2 months in prison for college admissions scam. Full House star Lori Loughlin on Friday was sentenced to 2 months in prison after she pleaded guilty to charges stemming from what prosecutors said was the largest college admissions scam in Department of Justice history. Her husband, fashion designer Massimo Giannulli, also pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 months in prison. Loughlin and Giannulli were charged for allegedly paying $500,000 in bribes to get their daughters into college as recruits to the University of Southern California's crew team. They initially pleaded not guilty, but changed course in May. Loughlin pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud as part of a plea deal that included 2 months in prison, 2 years of supervised release, 100 hours of community service, and a $150,000 fine. This is according to USA Today and the Associated Press. That's 10 things you need to know today for Saturday, August 22nd, 2020. Thank you for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Oh my goodness. No news is good news. I hope you have some good news. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you're up to. Are you having a good time today? It's Saturday. My goodness, you've been working hard all week. Spend your time with your family and friends, having some fun. And if you have no family and friends, hey, give me a call. I'll be your buddy. All right. And if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to, once again, give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email info@radiowhat.com. And you could be on the What Makes You Famous podcast, hashtag What Makes You Famous. Also, if you like gaming, hey, watch me do some gaming. I'm streaming online at twitch.tv/KeysDAN and facebook.com/KeysDAN Gaming. Yeah, watch me play some games. Probably watch me fail horribly. Hey, this week's shows, since I'm recording this on Saturday, I have no shows tonight, unfortunately. I've been doing shows on Saturdays sporadically, karaoke and video dance parties and weddings. Now, I have been booking up some weddings for September. I think the next one is September 12th, I think, or the 19th. I haven't looked at my records just now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having some weddings, some good Saturday weddings. And then Friday nights, I'm always at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Come out to the Rab in Conway and have some fun with us. It was a good time last night, and I look forward to next Friday. All right, that's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.